So I've seen some debate online about should you use airbags for your travel trailer, or should you use to level out your truck, or should you use a weight distribution hitch? Well, it's not really an either or thing. Now, definitely weight distribution hitch, always. You should always have that, but you can use them in conjunction with airbags. The thing you want to do is you want to make sure your airbags are set first so that you don't inflate your airbags after you have your hitch set. Otherwise, that reduces some of the essentially some of the fulcrum type force that returns weight to the front end here. So what we want to do when we set this is we want to restore our front end height first. So I'm going to show you how I go about doing this. Now, it takes a little finagling back and forth to get everything set and right the first time, but let's go ahead and start with first establishing what is the height of our fender there on the front end. So the first thing, if we look, we can see right now we're not on entirely level ground here. As you can see, it's gravel and it's graded for drainage, but 37 inches is right where I'm at. Really, I'd like to get right back to 37 inches. Don't want to go too far past 37 inches. Again, maybe down to 36 and a half, but I don't want to put too much weight on my front axle. So we're not on entirely level ground here. My driver's side here says 36 3/4, but, and you may not be able to appreciate that, but I'm actually sitting on a little bump right there. Again, we're on kind of a gravel surface. It's uneven. That tire happens to be right on a bump, but 37 3/4, somewhere between 36 and a half and 37 3/4 on that side. Now the next part is getting the coupler from my trailer and my hitch ball at the right height. Want them to be roughly the same height when my travel trailer is level. Now right now my travel trailer is not entirely level. Again, we're on some area that's graded and also uneven surface, but I've done this before, so I know that's about where we want it to be right there. The other thing is then I play with my airbags a little bit to get kind of that balanced out. When I do that, usually I'm loaded. Right now I'm unloaded because I'm just taking my travel trailer home to clean it up. So what I'm going to do here is connect my pump into my Schrader valve that hooks to both of my airbags here. I've got them as a single unit, and I'm going to go ahead and inflate to about just shy of 20 psi. That was it right there. That got me up to 20. The airbags inflate really fast. My hitch ball went up just subtly. It's now right at the top level of my travel trailer there. Now again, I'm usually inflating to somewhere between 25 to 28, depending upon how full I am, what exactly I have in my bed when I travel. Today my bed's empty. So since my bed's empty, I know that if I inflate it that high, what it'll do is it'll lift that hitch ball too high, lift my hitch too high for that coupler, relatively speaking. This is about where I want it today. Okay, now let's go ahead and raise the height of our coupler, and then we'll go ahead and hitch up. Now, I usually stop right there as soon as I start to get some downward pressure on the hitch itself. Once I see the hitch move just slightly, then I'll go ahead and hook it up. Now, I'm pretty systematic with how I hook everything up. I usually start with my safety clip, then I'll hook in my power cord, then I'll go ahead and hook up the safety chains. As you watch me hook up here, which I've done so many times now, I do it in super fast speed, what you'll notice is that my safety chains are actually already crossed. I store them crossed so I don't have to move them from side to side. So when I hook up the driver's side and then the passenger side, I'm not having to go back and forth with them. So I always do things in the same order. I make that a routine every time so that if I'm not doing a step, it causes my attention to it. But it always, for me, goes the safety clip, power cord, safety chains, and the pull-away brake cable. So the next process of this for me is hooking up now the arms for the weight distribution hitch. This is a Curt 14,000 pound system. Like I said, Typically, with my previous travel trailers, I use the equalizer weight distribution hitch. I had both a 4-point, which used trunnion bars, and I also had a round bar system. I liked the trunnion bar system just a little bit better, but they're both, I think, very, very effective for travel trailers, you know, under about 8,000 to 10,000 pounds. This one has a gross vehicle weight rating of 6,000 pounds. We're going to go ahead and hook these up now and show you how we do that. So that bar pops in like that. Once I have that bar in, then I'm going to go ahead and hook the chain up. Now I have my chains marked. I've pre-done that so that I can get them into the right spot. And so you want at least 5 chain links here to make sure that you have enough space when you're hooking this up. So with this type of system, you do use a lever arm to lift that up into place, and then the clip to hold it there. Similarly, as you go to put on the Curt sway control arm, it has 2 safety clips that hold it in place. It starts off loose and then you tighten it. I always make sure I'm 3 turns to loosen, 3 turns to tighten. So that's that side of chain hooked up with the sway control arm. We're going to go ahead and hook the other side up. So we've got it all hooked up now. I just want to go ahead and show you right here. You see this is marked with a little bit of green permanent marker right there on top. I did the same thing to the one on the other side. So that's my 7th chain actually, and it helps me out for knowing where is the right position for me to lock this into place. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and lower my jack here, put all the weight back onto that hitch, and allow these lever arms to work like a wheelbarrow to lift pressure back to the front end of those that front axle, and then we'll go ahead and measure our height there and see how we've done. Okay, so if we look at our front end here, we can see why we're right back at exactly 37 inches there. And on the driver's side, we were right back right between 36.5 and 36 3/4. Now, the next thing we want to do is not forget to remove our blocks, and especially not forget to remove our wheel chocks before we take off. So the area we're at is a little bit graded, but if we look at this here, we can see the Airstream's level, the truck's level. If we look at the front fender area there, we can see and we can tell that looks very normal. And like I said, on the driver's side there, it returned to right between 36.5 and 36 3/4 inches. So everything's set just where we want it right now for safe towing. Now, the one thing you still need to do here is you still need to go through the cat scales with this setup. And what I do is I get my freshwater tank full, my black and gray water tanks empty because that's close to how I'll be traveling. I get everything in the bed of my truck, then I set this all up. And so what I found for me with this particular setup with my stock Tundra, it's between about 25 and 28 PSI for the airbags. My weight distribution hitch I have set on, I think it's the 7th link there. You want at least 5 links, so there's some mobility there, but that gets everything set level for traveling down the highway for maximum efficiency and safety. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. If you think there's something different we should be doing, please comment, tell what your experience is. I love to hear other people's opinions. I also love to hear other people's insight. It's how we all learn a little bit more. Thanks for watching.